guys, my name is Juliana Palencia and welcome to my channel. Today I have an exciting video for you guys because I am finally taking out my Goddess Faux Locs after having them in for almost 1 month. Awesome protective style. It's my first time wearing a long-term protective style and I've really enjoyed not having to do anything to my hair. So if you'd like to see my updates on the pros and the cons of these Goddess Locs and how they looked at week 2 and week 4 and just me talking about the whole process, then check the link down in the description box below. But today I'll be showing you how I take out these Goddess Faux Locs. My hair underneath here is really long and so I was looking for different ways to remove these Goddess Faux Locs, and what I kept coming across were people just chopping off the bottom of their Goddess Locs and just unraveling it from there, which is great. However, my hair is very long and it actually in some of these Goddess Faux Locs, like this one here, this is my real hair right here. 5 or 6 inches is my real hair. And so if I chop off the bottom, I'd also be chopping off my real hair. So I'm going to be showing you an alternative way to remove the Goddess Faux Locs so that you have no risk of cutting off your hair, or very low risk of cutting off your hair. So here's the typical way that most people remove their Goddess Faux Locs. They have the ends of the hair. And I'm going to use this one because it comes like all the way down here. And I know that my hair braided underneath does not come that far, so they typically just cut the bottom and just start unraveling. Here's another lock, and I like to twist the lock with 2 hands going in the opposite direction until the lock starts to loosen. Once it's loosened up, there will be a gap in the hair that I can grab to separate the lock from the braid, and then once it's separated, I cut the lock hair as close to the bottom as possible. And I also like to take off those ends if they're loosened up because they can get in the way later when I'm trying to unravel or slide off my locks. So here you see me pulling the lock hair away from the braided hair to try and pull any tangles apart. Sometimes when I was trying to unravel my locks, the lock hair would tangle so that I couldn't unravel it. So once those tangles were pulled apart and gone, I was able to unravel the hair again. And sometimes if the hair was loose enough, I could go a few inches up from where I was unraveling and pull the braided hair through, and that would just skip a few inches that I wouldn't have to unravel. And I did this little technique of loosening from the top to the bottom because sometimes if I kept unraveling the hair or twisting the hair, it would get really tight and make it almost impossible to like unravel or do anything to it. So I highly suggest twisting the hair from the top to the bottom to try to loosen it before you do any unraveling, because it would literally, some of them, I think it was 2 of them, took me like 30 minutes because I didn't loosen it first. And it was just impossible to try to move them. So definitely loosen them first, and then you'll be able to easily just take off the hair and unravel it. Another great thing about loosening from the top to the bottom is that once you loosen it, sometimes you can easily just slide the entire hair off. And sometimes if you have any ends stuck, or let's say where the braided hair and the locks meet, there's a little bump there, sometimes it'll be hard for it to slide off. So I just spent a few seconds unraveling the locks from the hair. So the next step is, of course, to take off the braided hair from your real hair. And guys, I really did an effective job of moisturizing my hair because as you can see, it's still like shiny and it felt so soft and moisturized. So if you guys would like to see how I prepped my hair for these Goddess Locs, then make sure that you click this link up in the right hand corner. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I am not a professional by any means, so some of these were really difficult for me, and this was my first time ever doing anything like this. Not every single lock came off this easily, so if you are removing your locks, I really don't want you to think that, you know, every single end came off and every single hair unraveled whole. There were a few that I had to spend quite a while on, so please don't get discouraged. I made this this video so that I can help you guys remove your goddess locks and tell you guys about any problems that I encountered and how to solve them. So just know that it is not a YouTube tutorial in real life with, you know, everything going perfect. I encountered problems myself, but these tips are what helped me to remove them so much easier. For some of the longer pieces, I actually was able to just cut off the bottoms because I knew that my real hair did not come all the way down there. And not every single lock I was able to completely separate the lock hair from the braided hair. I had to do it in pieces because some of them were really tight. So I just separated the hair, unraveled the hair in sections, and just kept doing that until I was able to find the braided hair and just separate it. And again, I like to loosen the hair from the top to the bottom because it really makes the whole process so much easier when I'm trying to either unravel or just pull off the hair. Look at my excitement for finally removing all the locks. So the next step, of course, is to take out the braids, and I like to put my hair up into a ponytail so that I can work with one braid at a time and not forget any. And once I was done braiding the hair, I would lightly rake my fingers through to remove any of the shed hair. And you guys have to see the video where I talk about how much shed hair I lost and breakage and thinning edges. You guys are gonna be absolutely amazed. And here's my hair when I was completely finished. So if you guys want to see that video about how much hair I shed, or if you want to see the video on how I prepared my hair for the goddess locks or the goddess locks tutorial itself, make sure that you check out the link in the description box. Bye guys, have a great day.